Hi, this is Christelle Martinette here, and it's Thursday, it's Thor's Day, and this morning I woke up and I cast runes for myself as a practice, you know, and it was very interesting because I have crystal, clear crystal quartz runes, and one of them came out broken. Of course, you know, they can break, and so I left it out, and I thought maybe it would be interesting for us to look at them and then maybe add some tarot cards to get clarification, because it's an interesting theme that I'm seeing here. Let me see if I can. Okay, all right. Now the first rune that we have, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. The first rune here is Turkana or Bjork, and this is a, it's very hard to see that, but it's a gentle type, but very, very firm rune, and people usually think, remind themselves about the meaning because it looks like a bee, and the meaning behind it would be the birth, the beginning of something. But what I'm seeing here is that it's an encouraging rune. It's turned upside down, and instead of being the typical meaning of the giving birth, it seems to me that it is telling us it's a gentle way of mending, of healing. The bee comes, it typifies the birth tree, and the birch tree, and the birch tree is a very fertile tree. It allows other trees around it to grow, and magically, it, as I said, augurs in new beginnings. But upside down, I'm seeing it as sort of a peacekeeping rune, and a rune that will gently heal. Okay, then over the top, over to the left, is what we have, is what is called Keenats. And Keenats is upright, and it gives us the ability to manifest, intellectual manifestation. It sort of makes it possible for the theoretical to become real, and it's, the energy is a light energy rather than fire that many of these runes have. It's light, intellect. It symbolizes the eternal flame of the spirit, okay? It is a rune that you like having in a cast. It brings ideas to fruition. It makes our ideas materialize and emerge. Keenats is an important rune in any kind of journey, a shamanic journey. What it really perhaps means is it's in sparking our consciousness. So we're having healing, sparking our consciousness. And over to the other side is Fehu. Fehu, which is so excuse me. Let me get some water here. Just a second. Let me get some water. Fehu is usually the first of the runes. If we start learning them or seeing them, it is the first rune that you typically see, and it's luck, wealth, creative, and this is a rune of creative fire, not light, and it helps lighten depression. So even just with these 3 runes, we're seeing healing process, the mental aspect, light coming in to spark mental intellect. And then this is a lightening the load of depression. It's also good for networking, and it eases conflicts. And so now I'm getting the impression here that at least these first 3 runes are telling us that there's gentle healing underway. And the element that most is called into question here is the mind. You're reasoning what is going on with you. And Fehu then tells us that the healing has to do with a slight depression. And Fehu also is sort of again, the ideas emerging, and together with Kinas, these are 2 runes that you will see will make you become so creative out of that slightly depressive state, but it's a slow sort of sensation. Yesterday I heard this music, Feeling Good, and that type of music. It's sort of like a blues, but it's feeling good. You listen to that, and this is the atmosphere that I'm getting. Then there's the Rido reversed, and Rido is a rune of travel. Generally, it's the journeying. And here I'm reading it as the journeying of the soul. The journey. It's a spiritual journey. Since it's upside down, and it's more of a internal journey than an outward movement. And then there is Thurisas, Thor's rune here, for today, Thor's day. And this is also a rune that, well, it's not also a rune, it is the rune that gives us, it has the possibility of incredible destructive power. Okay, it can destroy, and it's upside down now. It has the ability to destroy. Now, this rune, however, is called on when there is extreme cases of healing to be undertaken, and it comes right up above the 3 runes that I just spoke of, and it's in the middle. It's in line with the first 2 and goes up to the second to last. And Thurisats is sort of like a boundary breaker. All right, it breaks boundaries that have, divide you from something else. And it's a shaker of things. It's an emotional shaker. It shakes up things emotionally. And this has to do with the healing underway, so that you're being called upon to use your mind to reason out the emotions that this upsurge of emotions that you have. Now, the next rune over is Ansus, upright, and it's the rune of the voice. This is usually linked to orality, communication, oral communication, and it eases sort of, and it's interesting that it's paired next to Thurisats because it has a tempering effect on this breaking down the boundaries. And what I'm getting is a very smooth moving forward of healing and thinking of emotions that are maybe disturbing and depressing and reasoning them out. And it clears the way for us to be the co-creators of what's coming up, or what it will be coming up in the days to come. Now, something strange here. I have this rune called Hagalas, and when it came out, it's on its side, so it's it's a toss-up whether it's Hagal or Hagalas. It's called, whether it's upright or Merkstave or reversed, and it's chipped, and so half of the rune is in the bag there. And Hagal talks about spiritual descent. Now, I'm trying to figure out what the broken nature of this rune is, because it calls upon, it stirs up your subconscious, okay? It puts you in the position of having to face, having to face takes us into the realm of our spirit. It's like a spiritual descent. You're stirring up, making you look at the dark side. You have to deal with your emotions, okay? And it being chipped here, it gives me a very important message, almost as if you're able to do this in these days, prior to this new moon in Scorpio, if you're able to do that, you start an emotional healing process that will ease you through the month. All right, this is gentle. This is gentle. Thurizad's tempered by Ansus. And Hagal is forcing us to deal with emotions. It's broken. This is telling us the last time you could deal with this issue at hand. And it also talks about water. Okay, it has the element of water in its nature, and it teaches us to find meaning in the journey itself. So, being chipped and being broken, and in this cast, it's telling me that this moment is extremely important for you now. It's not if he's going to call me, will he come back? Shall I call her? What is she doing? What is she trying to say to me? Or shall I go on with this? No, it's telling you to look within and finding those answers and mending those emotions, that long-standing emotions. And I'm talking about him or her or not calling. This is something that's far deeper than just the telephone call or the text message that he or she didn't answer. This is something that has to do with you. It has to do with your emotional makeup. And I don't want to say it's now or never, but it's a very strong sign to go inward and look at those issues. Not once and for all, but to revisit it, and also to remember that this process of healing is probably the most important part of where you are going, where it will be leading. Now, this last rune, which was shot up at the top, is Iwatas. And Iwatas is sort of a gateway rune, and it's interesting that it has come out right at the tip here, because then there's a gateway to something else. It has the power to remove toxic elements in your chakras, in your karma, in your spirit, and it works towards having life-work balance. Okay, it is a balancing rune. It's a rune of protection, and generally, the way I see it, this is a rune that's telling us to take care of your powers. All right, your divine powers and your divine gifts, to take care of them. Remember what they are. If you have a very sparked, highlighted, intuitive nature, that intuitive nature can get you into a lot of trouble. I'll call on the curiosity kill the cat. But also a psychic nature, an intuitive nature can be very productive for you if exercised in a certain manner, and it comes back to you. And I'm the first to say that we psychics and channelers, mediums, do this type of reading in the public because it teaches us a lot. We learn as we read, and we interact with a public, and this public, and I just want to spend 2 words on the YouTube public. The YouTube public is quite unique in that there's no feedback if not for the comments that you write, and quite sincerely, we aren't always ready to read the comments, or we're not in a position because we're elsewhere and we're not attached to our computers all the time, so we see them late. But there's no one-on-one. It's a one message to many message. And sooner or later I get the messages. I do have emails, and it's interesting to know it and the feedback. But it's not, at least I'm speaking for myself, I'm not speaking to avoid. I speak in a manner I know that I'm speaking to people who are listening. And I know that these words carry important messages. And I also know that none of this resonates with anybody, and they think I'm crazy. They unsubscribe. But what I'm seeing here, as you can imagine, you've been able to glean through this, is sort of a process that an interaction of different runes that have spoken about a gentle healing and finding your voice with Ansus, finding your voice, and a gateway with Iwats to protect your own power and use it in a proper, proper is an evaluation, proper in inverted commas. Use it to the best of your abilities. I have the a tarot deck here. This is my first tarot deck this is the first deck of cards I've ever held in my hands, okay? And it's fairly new because I've gone through 4 already because they were broken, lost, ruined, and I like to keep the deck always with me no matter where I go. I want to see if it can give us some information to do with this gentle healing process, for one. Well, this is the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles. And this is also a gentle passage. This is a king of all the 4 kings. It is the king that walks the slowest. It's the king that meditates the most. And it is the king that concerns himself with slow but sure movement. And that is in line with that rune upside down, Bjork upside down. And for these other 2 runes, the rune of Kinats, the intellect, and Fehu, Fehu, the richness, abundance. I'm seeing the 2 of cups. I hope you can see that 2 of cups here. And the 2 of cups is sort of an indication that beyond just the healing of a personal nature, of an emotional nature, the healing involves a relationship. And the healing involves, the runes are telling us that you need to use your logic abilities and your intellect and your mind to come to terms with the wealth of that relationship and see why it has brought you wealth. Okay, that's a very powerful. Then I have, let's see, for the Rido in reverse, the journey within, a spiritual journey, and the Thurisas, the destructive rune, but tempered by the voice of Anzus here. We have the Page of Pentacles. Now, this is interesting too, because this page is a light-hearted page, and it's a spiritual message that's coming in, a spiritual message that is not treading lightly on our souls. Again, it's chiming in with, so we have 2 pentacles now, the king and the page. The king has sent his page to tell us that Therisas is tempered, and it is a journey within, and you need to find your voice to deal with that relationship to yourself. It's not they're not telling you to go and speak to these persons. It's a matter of trying to understand what that has meant to you or means to you. I want to take one tarot on that Hagalas to see what it is telling us, this broken rune. And I have here the 5 of Cups. And Hagal was, if you remember, we said it's spiritual descent. It's inviting you to go down and go into your darkness and into the realms of your spirit and your psyche. And it's forcing you to deal with your emotions. Now here, the tarot card is telling us of regrets, right? This is the 5 of Cups, and emotional regrets, face those emotional regrets. And the last rune here, let's see what the gateway is. The gateway to our power. This is the Page of Cups. My Lord, we've got quite a lot of messages here. We have the Voice. We have 2 pages. This is the Page of Cups and the gateway. It's highlighting the gateway to our power and the work-life balance and the power to remove toxic elements. This is telling us that, if I can center that, here you go. This is telling us that it's a message of emotional, the cup is filled with emotions here, and the gateway is a gateway to your emotions. And I, stress that it's your emotions, your voice to yourself. It's not to the other person. It has to do with you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so pleased that I was able to tune into these runes, even if I have to figure out how to mend this rune today, because this is my favorite. This is my first set of runes, and my first tarot. This is a first. It was a pleasure to be with you. Namaste, my friends, and have a pleasant journey today. And do keep in tune. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. I really come back for it because of that. Bye-bye. Have a great day.